Okay. Well, hello, welcome everyone. Thank you so much for coming to the Awaken Your Gifts workshop. My name is Alana Belanger. I'm an intuitive healer and a psychic therapist. So today we're going to be learning about intuitive or psychic gifts. We'll be playing some games for you to perceive these senses. And then at the end of the call, we'll have a Q&A session. So please hold your questions until the end. Unless you have a question about something we're doing, then go ahead and share that because I want everyone to be clear and on the same page about the rules for the games. So, a little bit about me. I spent a decade as a technical writer before I moved into a career in counseling. So, I enrolled into a 3.5 years master's program, and now I have a master's degree in clinical behavioral health and addictions counseling. And I can tell you when I graduated with my degree, it was not at all part of the plan to become a full-time psychic, right? That was not in my manuscript. And I actually didn't even know that I was psychic until I took a 6-month course. And I realized very quickly, wow, I can do this. As part of the course, we had weekly practice sessions with other people in the course to validate our gifts, to practice and develop. And after receiving for about 2 or 3 weeks very clear validation in these practice readings that the information I was getting was spot on, it was clear, you hit the nail on the head, that totally resonates. And I knew that nothing major had changed with me in those 2 or 3 weeks. So this had to mean that this gift was there the whole time and I wasn't even aware of it. And that technical writer part of me wanted to get down into the research and figure out exactly how this was happening. I wanted to learn how it was that I could have been psychic for my whole life and not understand it, as well as what does it mean to be a psychic now? How is this happening? And in this research, as well as trying to become the best counselor that I could be, and helping people to connect to their most happy, authentic selves, my whole view of reality and what it means to be human completely transformed. And this has been hugely empowering for me. So I'm passionate about demystifying holistic modalities and sharing my perspective and experiences on consciousness and reality with others in the hopes that it can be empowering for you too. So I'll be doing monthly free classes like this. And my purpose with these classes is just to serve and support the community with this information, helping you to become your more empowered selves. I also am launching a YouTube channel. So this workshop will be on the YouTube channel as well as other content and other workshops if you can't make them live. I'm also a business owner, so I'll talk very briefly about what I offer and then we can jump into the course. So I help support people who want to live authentically, but they don't know how. They feel stuck, they feel blocked. And I use core transformation coaching, Reiki, psychic readings to help people with this, to move energy, to move through these blocks, to clear limiting beliefs. And I'm also launching my psychic therapy services. So in psychic therapy, I combine my extensive clinical knowledge with my psychic abilities to help you connect with your higher self and your inner wisdom and to transform trauma. So these are 5-session packages, and in just a few sessions, you'll experience effective, lasting change, and you'll gain insights on how to create what you want. So I'm excited to offer this special because it's a new thing that I'm launching. I have an introductory rate where you buy the first 4 sessions are paid for, but the 5th session in the package is free. So you get 5 sessions for $400 rather than the usual rate of $500. So thank you so much for this offer and also this class. So let's go ahead and get started. And just let me double check. Can everyone see the screen that I'm sharing? Okay, good. Thank you. So myths and misconceptions about extrasensory perception. Um, ESP, this is probably a term that people are familiar with, but I also like to call it energy sensing perception. You don't have to worry about that too much right now because I'm going to talk more about in the next slide what it actually is. But At its core, at its simplest, ESP is energy sensing perception. So it's helpful to set that framework now that psychic skills are just energy sensing skills. That helps to kind of take away some of that woo-woo. So what are some of the common myths and misconceptions? Well, the most obvious one is that a lot of people don't believe in it at all. They think it's not real. At best, it's a form of entertainment, and at worst, it's a scam. It's manipulation. It's people who have Sherlock Holmes kind of ability that they can read facial expressions and external inflections, but there's nothing going on there that has to do with information outside of the physical. And then the next stage up, people who maybe don't think it's real, but they can recognize that, yeah, sometimes it fits, sometimes it hits, and they're more likely to attribute that to being coincidence. Yeah, statistically, if you take enough guesses, you're going to hit some things, right? It's always the same time on the clock, at least twice a day, right? And then for people who do believe it's real, they think maybe that it's something you have to be born with. It's not for me. I don't have those gifts. And that's not something that I could learn. It's not something that I could possibly develop. It's something that you either have or you don't. And then another myth is when you receive psychic information, it's something really obvious or dramatic. So in the movies and TV series, people are setting things on fire with their mind. They're using Jedi Force mind control. They can see visions very clearly all the time. And this sort of fantastical element makes it seem like it's not possible, like it's purely fictional and it's unattainable. And most often, psychic signs is very subtle. Sorry, can I ask everyone to mute? Let me see if I can quickly mute everyone. Okay, thank you for that. So yeah, usually information that we receive from energy is subtle. It's something that's intangible. We can't often physically see it, hear it, or touch it. It's not like the booming voice of God or falling into this kind of 3D movie-like vision of the future. It can be very easy to miss our intuitive hits, especially when it might seem no different than just a thought in our minds or a sudden knowing that comes and goes very quickly. And then similarly, being psychic means that you can know the future, you can read minds, something very dramatic. And personally, I don't want to read people's minds and I don't want to know the future. That's a lot of pressure. That's a lot of responsibility to have those kinds of gifts. And with this bullet, I have a little caveat because um, some people can read the future. Some people have precognitions and dreams or envisions, but the future is never set in stone. So if someone's telling you they can read your future and that it's absolute, that's not true. The future is always changing and shifting, but you can read into what are the most probable outcomes based on your energy at this time. So psychic readings can be really useful in reading the future because it gives us that information of what's most likely to happen, and then we can change course. It helps to support us in our decision makings to have the future that we want to have. And then if you're psychic, you're always receiving information about everything all the time. I often get people asking me, how do you even go to the grocery store? Aren't you just picking up information from everyone all the time? And no, it doesn't work like that. Not for me. It's not the case for every person with their gifts, although many people, especially if they have empathic intuition and they can feel what people are feeling, they do constantly struggle with feeling other people's emotions. But that's something that you can learn to protect your energy and not to get that data. But it's receiving information, energy sensing perception is something that you have to tune into. It's a state of relaxed receptivity. And it's not something that you can just turn on or off with a light switch. trying to turn it on and trying to force and push or use your analytical mind to figure it out is just going to block that flow. It's not going to be a very good way to get into receiving information because you're approaching it from the level of ego. So now, what extrasensory perception or energy sensing perception, what is it really? Well, you have to understand first the concept of our reality in this universe. We live in a vibrational universe. Everything is frequency, information, energy. So, sound is frequency, light is frequency, even matter is frequency, right? Atoms is matter vibrating at the slowest, most densest frequency. And we see light. What we see around us is light hitting our eyes, and then our brain translating that information and projecting an output. And same thing with sound. Sound is frequency. It's waves that hits our eardrums, and our brain puts an output. It translates it. It takes that information from the frequency to have an output. And scientists have stated that we can see less than 0.5%, not even that much of the full electromagnetic spectrum of reality. And the universe is that. It's the full electromagnetic spectrum of reality plus consciousness. So Max Planck is a quantum physicist. He was one of the pioneers of quantum theory, and he was one of the first people to state that it's likely, more likely, that consciousness is directing matter rather than the other way around. Other scientists assume that the things that we see, this matter is what's directing consciousness. But it's actually that all of the universe and all of energy is conscious. And another scientific way of looking at that is string theory. So physicists who follow string theory, they posit that energy exists in all 10 dimensions and it's all connected, right? So even though we only see ourselves in a one area of consciousness, it's like tuning into a radio station. You're only tuned into this frequency in localized time and space. So I'm Alana, I'm right here and I'm right now. I'm only aware of everything happening in this moment, in this place. But that doesn't mean that I'm not disconnected from all of consciousness and all the other frequencies. I'm not separate from it. And there's a constant feedback loop between our bodies, the environment, and our mind. We're always receiving information from our environment and vice versa. Scientists talk about this concept called neuroception. That's your body's ability to sense danger before you're even consciously present of it, present aware of it. So we always have information coming in, and not just from our physical environment, but also from the non-physical environment. And extrasensory perception or energy sensing, maybe now it makes a little bit more sense why I said it's mostly just energy sensing. This is how we engage with reality beyond what we can perceive with our physical senses. We are energy, and energy is frequency carrying information. And on a quantum level, these frequencies are constantly shifting. Information is constantly being exchanged, and we can tap into that information to help influence the trajectory of possibility and what we experience in reality. As you'll soon learn with our games, there's various senses, those are the clair senses, that you can engage to discern information from energy. So now let's talk about who uses ESP. Some of the things on this slide you may already know, and some might be really surprising for you. So, major government agencies have invested millions of dollars and decades of research into studying psychic phenomenon and paranormal psychology. So, in the 50s, all the way up through the 90s, there was two major research projects going on by the government. You might have heard of MK Ultra. This was created by the CIA in the 50s and 60s. Some of this was mainly due to the Cold War, wanting to look and explore other ways of information gathering and also mind control, trying to look at warfare in ways that wasn't just weapons. They wanted to weaponize mind control. So mostly with MK Ultra, it was about studying the effects of psychedelics on volunteers. They were using hypnotherapy. Um, it's very interesting to read about. They don't talk a lot about the ESP portions of that research, but you can find interviews from people that were research participants, and they talk about some of the remote viewing or telepathy experiments they were doing. And interestingly enough, when the MK Ultra program was about to be terminated, President Nixon had just fired the CIA director of the time, and Gottlieb, the creator of MK Ultra, could see the writing on the wall, and he destroyed all of the records on MK Ultra. So there's not all the information about what they studied and researched is gone. And then MK Ultra led the way to Project Stargate. This was a multi-million dollar operation from the government and Stanford Research Institute. I can't quite remember, but I think it was over $40 million that was spent by the government, where they used psychics for intelligence gathering on political targets. So these psychics were recruited and they became a specialized U.S. Army and Defense Intelligence Agency unit. So they were trained to use remote viewing to search for the location of American hostages, to spy on the Soviets, and get information on technology developments and submarine activity. And this project was declassified in 1995, so you can look up on CIA's electronic reading room. It has the information on this project. The ultimate conclusion made by the government is that remote viewing is not a viable use case. And it wasn't because it wasn't effective and because they didn't get information from the remote viewers. It was because scientifically it couldn't be reproduced 100% of the time. And now that's interesting to say because still to this day, even though that program was closed down, the government agencies, as well as the police force, do hire remote viewers and mediums to assist in missing person cases, kidnappings, homicides, and also still intelligence gathering. So it's not in the public view, and often these people are not credited. By people, I mean the mediums or the remote viewers. They're not credited for their assistance in these cases. But the government bodies do still take this as they do take it seriously. Then high-level business leaders and investors also hire remote viewers to predict market movements, to look into business mergers. And then on a historical level, for centuries, shamans have known that everything in the universe is connected through our energy, and they can view the light body or the aura of people during their healing ceremonies. They call it the luminous energy field. It's part of that living matrix that connects us to everything across all time and space. And for if you're interested in learning more about shamanism and getting a scientific perspective of energy medicine, look into Dr. Alberto Villoldo. He's a psychologist and medical anthropologist. He was living in California and working in a lab, and he decided to go study with shamans to investigate energy medicine to see if it could change the chemistry of the brain. And he so fell in love with the work. He spent 10 years in the jungles of South America with the medicine people, becoming initiated and a shaman himself. And when he came back to the US, his new mission was to bridge the gap and bring shamanism into Western medicine and for Western people. So he runs the Four Winds Institute, teaching shamanism and energy medicine to people over the world. And then from a more daily perspective, or kind of ordinary people, mother's intuition. Mothers, there's many documented cases of mothers who could tell suddenly, even if they weren't in the same room as their child, that either their child was in danger or something was wrong. And then healthcare providers, doctors and nurses have saved lives with their medical intuition, either knowing intuitively what's wrong with someone or sensing that there was urgency and care. Maybe they didn't present like there was something serious, but they had that hunch that there was. So really, everyone can use ESP. Everyone has intuitive and psychic gifts. The purpose of this slide is to show that these abilities are taken seriously at the highest levels of authority. They have a historical use case across centuries of time that this has been known, and they're also used by ordinary people in their daily lives. So now that you know what ESP is, who uses it, know that it's for everyone, you might want to know, okay, so how do I develop it? So one of the ways to develop energy sensing perception is through psychic receptivity areas. And this sounds like a mouthful, but I'm going to invite you to try a quick experiment with me, if that's okay. So it'll make it very clear about what I mean by psychic receptivity areas. So if you're willing to try this experiment with me, just close your eyes and take a few nice deep breaths to settle in. One deep breath from the belly. Good. So now become aware of what's around you and what you hear. Become aware of your surroundings with your ears. Can you pick out at least two unique sounds that you can hear? Maybe you hear the hum of your computer or the sounds of cars outside on the street. Just take a moment to listen for those sounds. And now notice, where did your awareness go when you concentrated on listening? Where did your attention, your focus go? Did it go to your ears? Well, that's the experiment. So thank you for trying that out. You can open your eyes now. So in the same way that when we want to tune into a physical sense more keenly, we bring our focus on the body parts that are responsible for that physical sense. So in the same way, we can consciously bring our attention and awareness to the areas of our body that are responsible for non-physical senses, those energy processing centers for these specific senses, in the same way that your nose picks up smells, your third eye center, the psychic receptivity areas for clairvoyance, for psychic seeing. So I'll talk more about that in the games. You'll get a chance to actually tune into those centers and I'll explain how. I just wanted to put it on this slide because it's a great way to develop your gifts is to become aware. It'd be pretty hard if you think you're trying to learn how to smell and you think you're supposed to smell with your ears, right? Another really great tool for developing ESP is meditation. This is a helpful practice to build your awareness and focus. And we need both awareness and focus to discern receiving information from energy, as well as just to have more consciousness of ourselves. We spend a lot of time in our heads. We think 80,000 thoughts a day, and we don't have a lot of conscious awareness of those thoughts that we're thinking. So it makes it very difficult to parse out what thoughts are just noise and what thoughts are your intuition if you don't have that clarity of awareness. And it's hard to filter out from the noise if you don't have focus on what you're looking for. Then breath is the bridge between the conscious and the subconscious mind. It's the fastest and most effective way to shift your state of being. So breath is a way to shift your state of being from fight and flight into rest and relax. It activates that in the autonomic or automatic nervous response system, that governing system that tells our body how to engage with the world if we need to be on alert or if we can play and digest, rest, repair. Slow, deep breathing will activate your parasympathetic nervous response, which lets your body know that you're safe. It's time for play. It's time for rest and repair. And jumping off of that point, once our breathing signals to our body that it's safe, we can activate the alpha brainwave state. This is a relaxed brainwave state It facilitates creativity and imagination, and it also is helps to quiet that critical part of the mind, that analytical part of the mind that makes it more difficult to connect to a spirit or information beyond our senses, right? Because that analytical mind is immediately looking to doubt. It's not open to, let's play, let's see what's out there. And the subconscious mind or spirit, um, that's the language of spirit, is play, pretend, and imagination. Oh, and one other point about alpha brainwave state allows for new neural connectivity. So, new synaptic patterns, changing perspectives, being able to shift ways of thinking and create new neural pathways. So that play pretend is how, and imagination is how we connect to spirit. The more throughout the day that you can use your imagination, you can daydream, you can be in a more lighthearted kind of state, the more comfortable you'll feel with engaging the subconscious mind and spirit, which speaks in metaphors, symbols, play, and it'll help you learn to decode this kind of language. And then recording dreams. Dreams are a form of psychic communication. So our vision, it's part of clairvoyance or psychic seeing. We have physical vision, and we also always have our psychic vision, right? When you're dreaming, your eyes are closed. You don't have your eyes open, but still images are coming across. So that's not your physical sight senses that are being engaged during dreams. It's your psychic senses, your mind's eye that's being engaged. And so our subconscious speaks to us in dreams, and clairvoyance, psychic seeing, is the most symbolic of the clairs. That's why dreams are very metaphorical. So recording your dreams is important because number one, you're going to remember them, right? They're very fleeting. If you wake up, you think about something else, or even if you start analyzing it and trying to think, what did that dream mean? You might forget about it. So it's important to just write the dream down and then analyze it later. And then you can start to pick up on patterns and understand the metaphors and symbols more easily. Eventually, with this practice, you might start lucid dreaming too. In a lucid dreaming course I took, this was the number one first step is recording your dreams and remembering them. And then it's important to ground yourself. That's a key part of developing your senses. Being grounded, to me at least, means being connected to your body, connected to the earth, releasing any tension or other people's energy. So making sure that you're in that calm, grounded state, you're focused, you're in the present awareness, and you feel safe, you feel sturdy. And then releasing the noise. Um, this can help you get more clear because, like I said, we think 80,000 thoughts in a day and we're constantly receiving information from the environment. So, releasing the noise, you could do it by just journaling, just writing out what's on your mind. You could just give yourself a little bit of time to think your thoughts as much as you want. You can vent it out, you could speak it out. And this is a personal habit by artists. If anyone's ever read The Artist's Way, I think it's Julia Cameron. She recommends as soon as you wake up, you write out 3 pages. You just get whatever is the debris in your brain kind of taken out so that you can focus and have more clarity. And finally, disrupting patterns to allow for more possibility. Dr. Joe Dispenza talks about this one. And the reason is that to get new information, you have to do things from a different state of being. So this could be changing your routine, learning a new skill, driving a different way to work, trying to do activities with your non-dominant hand. So if you're right-handed, try brushing your teeth with your left hand or brushing your hair with your left hand. So basically doing anything different than you normally would. Um, this playing outside of the box encourages your brain to create new connections and it opens you to other sources of input. If you have routine might be comfortable, but if you're always following the same routine, you're thinking the same thoughts, you're following the same patterns, you're constantly reinforcing the same neural networks, which keeps you stuck in that reality. That's why it's good to shake things up a little bit. Okay. So next we'll do the games, but before we get into the game, let's get in the groove and generate some of those alpha brain waves. So I'm gonna have, if you have the ability to stand, please stand up and just shake around a little bit, get loose. I'm on camera. I don't see anyone else on camera, but that's okay. Just showing you it's kind of, just shake your body just a little bit. Kind of try and get relaxed, jump around, whatever it takes for you. Could even do some, Dr. Sue Morter does these. I love them. You reach up and you do, ah, ha, ah, ha, ah, ha. Just do a couple of those. And the reason why we're doing this is to help you get rid of any nerves you have, to help you feel more relaxed, and to be in a playful state of mind, because that's how we best engage with our intuition. Okay, now that we've gotten into our bodies a little bit more, we're going to do a brief meditation so we can generate those alpha brain waves. So this is a type of breathing that is taught in therapy. I use this with my clients, but also it's really popular, or not popular, it's developed by shamans. It's the 4x4 box breathing, where you inhale for 4, you hold for 4, exhale for 4, hold for 4, and you start again. This was used by shamans because it helps you be in a state of relaxation, but still focus. So body's asleep, but your mind's awake. So I'm going to start guiding this breathing. And as you're doing this breathing, feel as though your thoughts and your breath come from your third eye center, kind of in your forehead, in between your eyes, right where I'm pointing. It might be a little bit higher or lower for people. So when you close your eyes, kind of notice if your eyes direct upwards, do they kind of instinctively go to a certain spot? So we'll start with the breathing. Just imagine your breath coming through here. So we're going to inhale 2, 3, 4, hold 2, 3, 4, exhale 2, 3, 4, hold 2, 3, 4, inhale 2, 3, 4, hold 2, 3, 4, exhale 2, 3, 4, hold 2, 3, 4, inhale 2, 3, 4, hold 2, 3, 4, exhale 2, 3, 4, inhale 2, 3, 4, hold 2, 3, 4, exhale 2, 3, 4, hold 2, 3, 4. Last round. Inhale 2, 3, 4. Hold 2, 3, 4. Exhale 2, 3, 4. Hold 2, 3, 4. Beautiful. Now we can get into the games. We're going to have 6 rounds of games. I invite you just to relax, allow the information to just come to you, and go with your first impression. Whatever you get is right. So our first game is using the clair sense of clairvoyance. This is psychic seeing. This is having visions or pictures in your mind's eye. For some people, you can see energy. You can train to learn to see auras in the external physical world, and also dreams. So for this game, we're going to play one truth and one lie. And I invite you to type your answers into the chat as we go. But first, I'll explain the game. What we're going to do is use clairvoyance to try and test if what I'm saying is a truth or a lie. I'll do 3 rounds of that. So you're going to start by putting your awareness in your third eye center, just like you were just doing. It's as if your presence, your focus is here, your breath and your thoughts are coming from this center. And then choose an image of something. It could be a flower, it could be a traffic light, it could be a glowing ball of light, an apple. I'll just give you a minute to choose an image. And then you're going to you're going to create this image in your mind's eye. You're going to see it. And you'll ask the image to show you what a yes is and what a no is. So for a traffic light, maybe your yes is green and your no is red. If it's an apple, maybe you see your yes as the apple gets very bright in color, and your no, it gets a bite taken out of it or it starts to decay. If it could be a flower, the flower gets brighter or its petals open up, and maybe a no is that the petals close. So I'll just give you one moment to choose an image and experiment with that. Maybe give me like a thumbs up sign or something to let you know that you're ready to start the game. If I don't see any uh, thumbs up, I will just give it 2 minutes. All right, awesome. I saw some thumbs up. Thank you so much. Okay, so the first round, uh, sorry, let me get back to my notes here. Okay. So here's round one. Try and guess what's the truth and what's the lie, and you can put it in the chat. So option A, I have been to Chicago and Philadelphia. Option B, I have been to New York City and Atlanta. Let me know if I should repeat those and type in the chat. Okay. Which I guess I should specify which please type in the chat. Yeah, which is the true, which is the lie? What do you think is the lie? We got B truth, A lie, A and B. Okay. Thank you for typing in the chat, being brave. Let's see. And the answer is A was the lie, B is the truth. Great job. So we'll do 2 more rounds of that. And just give me a thumbs up. Was that enough time for you to test with the yes or no? It really shouldn't be more than 30 seconds, but if anyone needs a little bit more time, let me know. Okay, thank you. So round two. A, I took singing lessons when I was little. Or B, I played on the soccer team in high school. Which is the lie and which is the truth? Is it singing lessons is the truth, or is it soccer team that's the truth? You got B is the truth, A is the lie, A is true, A true, A true. Wow, you guys are great at this. Yeah, it's true. I took singing lessons when I was little, and I did play soccer in high school, but it was not not on the team. I didn't make the team, sadly. I played it recreationally. Okay, and final round. Okay, A, I've eaten a worm. B, I've been an extra in a movie. Which is the lie and which is the truth? A true, A true, B true, B true. Oh, we got a split. It's looking 50-50. Okay. B is the truth. I have never eaten a worm, but I have been an extra in a movie. I can't access pictures in my mind. Oh, that's totally okay. Um, forget the term for it, but for some people, pictures are really blurry in their mind, and clairvoyance might not be the easiest skill for you. But that doesn't mean that your other clair senses aren't developed. Everyone has it's kind of like having volume. It's like sometimes the volume's turned way up for some of the clairs, and on other ones it's turned down. So we'll see as we go on with the games. You'll probably find something that's a little easier for you. Okay, so our next game, this is the clairs of clairgustance and clairsalience. So this is psychic tasting and psychic smelling. So in this game, we're going to um, guess what the food is. So I have two bags, two different rounds, and you're going to guess what food is in the bag. And I'm going to give you a small hint just to let you know that the food is not something really complicated. You're not going to be guessing like corn souffle or beef tartare. This is very simple food, okay? So first you can do, I'm going to get the bag for you. Okay. So here is bag number one. I feel like Vanna White. So put your awareness inside your mouth and tongue for psychic tasting. That's the psychic receptivity center. So it's as if you're standing inside your mouth. You can even wiggle your tongue a little bit. And then from here, sense what's inside of the bag. Allow the taste and the texture to come to your mouth. And then do the same thing for smelling. Put your awareness in your nose and just allow a smell to come to your nose. And then you can please put in the chat, what are you picking up? What kind of information do you get? You're sensing inside of the bag. What food is in here? Peanuts, an orange. Okay. Brownie, that'd be fun. And since if you're interested, this game is to try out psychic tasting and smelling, but you could also try your other senses. Just put yourself in the bag. Notice what you're picking up on. Is there any kind of texture? Is it big? What's the shape of it? Do you see a color? You can just ask yourself all kinds of questions about what's in the bag. Is it heavy? Is it chewy? Is it crunchy? I'll give it one more minute and then I'll open the bag and we'll reveal. In the chat, we've got a couple votes for brown, orange, apple. It seems like in general, people are noticing something that's a little bit sweet. Okay, and here's the big reveal. A banana. You were on it with fruit. You're on the right track with fruit and being sweet. Okay, so we're gonna try that one with one more. I forgot to mention, but I think it's kind of clear. If you're watching this as the recording replay, just put your answers down on a piece of paper and note the impressions. You should be getting the answers about the real time. Okay, I'm gonna even open it a little bit. I'm wafting it. Bag number two. What is in this bag? What do you smell? What do you taste? Again, you can just kind of allow it to come to you. Is this one sweet? Is it salty? Is it sour? Almond, salty, sour, tuna fish. Nuts. Yeah, it's different. It's definitely different than the last one. Cracker. We have textures or layers, like the way the banana, bacon. I love these guesses. Okay, I'll give it to the full minute and then I'll open the bag. Okay. So in bag number two, we had an onion. So it's interesting because in both cases, everyone got that it was something a little bit sweet, and this time you knew it wasn't something sweet. I'm actually a little bit glad because I was worried in choosing the onion. I was like, I don't want people to be in pain or start crying. You know, onions don't smell very good. Tuna fish would have been a little diabolical of me as well. Tuna doesn't smell very good either. Okay. So for this next game, this is working with your clair audience. So this is the psychic sense that's psychic hearing. You could come across as like heat, ringing, pressure in your ears. Um, and I actually only just learned this because I have a friend who's clairaudient, and I always thought it was like actually hearing something like that booming voice of God, like it was like in your room, but it sounded like it was really being said in your space. And I learned recently that clairaudience is actually the voice inside your head. So this is the clair sense that's the most easily to get confused with because it just sounds like you, sounds like that inner voice. It can also be songs on the radio or movies, anything that you can hear physically or in your mind. So with it being in your mind, it's almost like you can ask a question in your mind and you hear it like an echo in response. It doesn't sound like an echo. I'm just using it as in that sense of as soon as you ask the question, you get a response in your mind. So for this game, we're going to practice clairaudience as receiving a response in your mind to a question that you ask, and the clairaudience in the sense that it's a song or it's a sound. So you're going to choose a question that you want insights on. What's something you're wondering about in your life that would be helpful to get clarity? And then write that question down. And then you're going to ask the question and expect to receive the answer in the form of a song. And now the telepathic receptivity area for clairaudience is the area just above your ears on your head on either side, just above where the temporal lobes are located. Okay, and then once you do this, just allow a song to come to you. And the insights to your question might be the specific title of the song, it could be the lyrics of the song, but it might also be the emotional tone. So I'll give you just a moment to think of a song. Ask your question. Whatever the first song that comes to mind is your answer to the question. Okay. And it might take a little bit of time before the insights become clear if maybe you needed to look at the lyrics or it's a song you're not familiar with. But just curious, if you type in the chat, number one, did a song come to you? Did something even come up? And then number two, did it resonate? Did it make sense with the question that you were asking? She's just a girl and she's on fire. Yes, and yes. Don't remember what my song is called. Yeah. It's interesting, right? It's like it's almost more credence to the fact that this is your inner intuition when it's like something that you don't normally listen to because it's not like, oh, I was just listening to that song this morning, or it's a song it's always stuck in my head. Yeah. If you know the song or you know some of the lyrics, I encourage you to write down whatever you can, pick up on it. That way you can see a little bit later what the relevance is. What was the symbol to the answer to your question? Thank you so much for sharing your experience. Okay, so now we're going to do a little temperature check. How are you feeling? Are you feeling this is fun? It's exciting? Is it like you feel lighthearted? Let me know in the chat. Are you starting to get a little bit frustrated? Are you attaching an emotion to whether you're getting the information or not getting the information? We're halfway through the game, so it's a good place if you're feeling starting to take yourself seriously to lovingly lighten up, do some wiggles again. Sophia's feeling good. Can even do some just smile, send those endorphins, even if you're not feeling it, kind of shake off any frustration you might feel. It doesn't help when we get frustrated. Feeling pretty good about it. Not sure how much info I'm getting though. Well, that makes sense. I mean, I'm guessing most people on this call haven't done these kinds of games, or last one is crazy. My question is, are my clients going to make a decision before Halloween? Song was time is on my side. Ooh, that's awesome. That's what's so enjoyable about using our intuition. It's awesome to feel that kind of clarity and to have that reassurance, like, okay, there's really no need to worry. I've got time on my side. It's gonna be okay. Yeah, I mean, these are, like I said, the use it or lose it philosophy in biology. For many of us, these are things that we haven't practiced with, so it makes sense that um, it might take a little time before it gets comfortable and before you realize and understand what's happening for you, right? If we went to the gym and expected that in the first week of going to the gym, we were going to be strong and fit, we wouldn't go to the gym anymore. If our expectation was, oh, we're going to get it in this amount of time, we'd be so disappointed and it would feel too unrealistic. So, in the same way, this is something that you'll be working with and developing. Okay. So now this game is focusing on the gift of clairsentience or clairtangency. Um, so this is like psychic sensing of energy in terms of physical senses. So either you feel goosebumps, you get tingling, you can have physical sensations in your body. This is that gut feeling that people are probably most familiar with. If you have that gut feeling something's good or bad, or you might even pick up what other people are feeling if they have medical issues. You could feel like a headache if they get migraines. You kind of experience what they're feeling in a physical sense. And then clairtangency is psychic sensing through touch. You're receiving the information through your hands. So for here, your psychic receptivity center is in your palms. So for this game, you're going to put your awareness inside of your palms. And I'm going to show you four colors on the screen. So you can keep your eyes open and just put your palm over the screen or the phone, whatever you're using, and just notice breathing from here, sense the energy, feel what kind of texture, what kind of emotion, whatever comes through. Just notice what's different between the colors. And then once you have about 30 seconds each for each color, maybe 20 seconds, I'll go pick a color. You'll have your eyes closed. You'll feel and you'll try and guess which color it is. So there's only four colors. There's yellow, blue, green, and red. Okay, so I'll show you the first color. With your eyes open, go ahead, put your palm out. feel any kind of temperature? Does it have a tingling? Do you feel heat? Does it feel cold? Does it feel happy? Is there an emotion to it? I'm not trying to analyze it, just noticing what green feels like to you. Okay. And we're going to do the same thing for yellow. Okay. Noticing what yellow feels like through your palm. And then red. What does red feel like? Okay. And the last color, what is blue like? Okay. So now I'm going to invite you to close your eyes and put your, I forgot to say your non-dominant palm. Use whatever that hand is, but if you've already started with your dominant, it's totally fine. Okay, so now close your eyes, hold out your palm. I'm gonna go to a certain color and I'm gonna count down from 15 seconds. Okay. So you can sense it. 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Open your eyes and go ahead and type in chat. What color do you think that was? Blue, blue, yellow, blue, green. Okay, awesome. Yellow. Okay, we're gonna do 4 rounds of this. So that color was yellow. Nice job. Okay, we'll do round 2. You can close your eyes, put your palm out. I'm going to go to the color. Okay, and 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. What color did you get this time? Red, green, 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 blue, blue. Nice. Okay, that round was blue. Nice job. Okay, do round 3. You can close your eyes. Put your palm out to the screen. And 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. What color did you get for round 3? Red, red, red. Ooh, all reds across the board. Green. Okay. That round was green. Awesome. Okay, so final round. You can close your eyes, put your hand out to the screen. 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. What did you pick up for the last color? Yellow, green, yellow, blue, yellow. Yeah, very good. That was yellow. I thought I'd be tricky and just never do red. So if you were using your logical mind, you might have guessed, oh, she hasn't done red yet, so this last color has to be red. But no, it was yellow. And look at that. And the second time of feeling yellow, most of you picked it up. That's awesome. Ernesto, you got every one of those right. You're good with clairsentience. That's your clair. Okay. So now this game is to test out clair empathy. So it's similar to normal empathy and feeling people's emotions, but in the clair sense, it's like a precognitive empathy. You're feeling someone's feelings in advance of them feeling them, or you're feeling them when they're not physically present. So we're going to play this game where I'm going to project an emotion to you. And you're going to guess what emotion it is that I'm feeling. And I have it limited. There's a lot of emotions out there. So what you see on the slide, it's only one of those emotions. We're going to do 3 rounds of this. It can only be love, sadness, happiness, surprise, disgust, anxiety, excitement, or angry. Okay, so your your energy sensing receptivity center for this one is through your solar plexus energy center. So your solar plexus is at the junction of your ribs, like right where they separate below your heart. For women, it's like right at your bra line. So you're gonna breathe and put your awareness through there. And I'll let you know because I've got to get I have to get the emotion present. So let me tune into that emotion and then I'll give you a thumbs up when I'm projecting it to you. Okay. Okay. What emotion did you pick up? Go ahead and type in the chat. Was I projecting love, sadness, happiness, surprise, disgust, anxiety, excitement, or anger? Sadness, excitement, anxiety, disgust, anger. Wow, one of each. Okay. Yes, that one was anger. I was projecting anger. Okay. So now we'll try round 2 of that. Okay, let me clear myself, get into a different emotion. Okay. Okay. What emotion did you pick up on? Excitement, happy excitement, anxiety, happiness, anxiety. Yeah. It's a little tricky. I was doing love, but I feel like love feels a lot like happiness, so this can be a lot of crossover there. Okay. And since we're getting close on time, I'm actually going to skip the last round, so there's a little bit of time for Q&A. We have one more game, so we'll go to the last game. This is clair cognizance or your psychic knowing. So the game is, can you know how to improve a relationship? The psychic knowing is just intuition. It's something that just comes through you. You just know. So for this game, your psychic receptivity centers your crown chakra. Can imagine a funnel of energy coming down right through the center of your head. And then when you close your eyes, you kind of think up. You think up into this space. So first, think about someone you know who you have trouble getting along with, or maybe you just want to improve your relationship with them. So you're going to close your eyes and hold this person in your mind with the intention of, I want to improve my relationship with them. And then just let any impressions, any thoughts come up, whatever comes up. I'm going to give you 1 minute because this is supposed to be fast. That's the whole point of the claircognizance and intuition is that it's very quick. Okay. So hold the person in mind, think up. How do you improve your relationship? Starting now. Okay, and stop. You can write down any impressions, anything that came to you. So this one's kind of personal. I'm not going to ask you to share specifics, but if you feel comfortable sharing in the chat, just did you get impressions? Do you have some insights that maybe surprised you? Maybe even you got some ideas about how this person feels about you and your relationship, and that was helpful. Okay. So in closing notes on awakening your intuition, um, they've closed the door, so I shouldn't waste my time. Ooh, sometimes the guidance we get isn't really what we want to hear, but it's important to know, right? That's good information for you to have. And it shows that you're intuitively open because you're getting information that maybe wasn't the outcome that you would have liked. Um, so one thing once you're using your intuition, especially if you're reading for someone else or you're putting your energy outside of you, make sure that you disconnect and call your energy back. There's a lot of different ways you can do that. You can put your hand on your solar plexus. You can imagine pulling your breath, your awareness back into your body. Actually, like the visual that Sophia just had, you can close the door. You can imagine just a door closing. You can visualize two circles that are interlocked and they're coming apart. You can shake and brush it off, or you can simply just intend, I'm calling my energy back. Um, just try different things on for size. There's really not one prescribed way to call your energy back. The key is just to bring your awareness fully back to you somehow. And this is a powerful practice to do all the time, especially around other people. So we often don't realize when we're giving our energy away to other people by focusing our energy attention on them. This is a good way to take your energy back. And like any other skill, building your intuition takes time and practice. Like we talked about, you can't go to the gym and expect in a week that you're going to be super strong. You might start to notice other differences first before you're noticing your intuition. Like even your physical senses could be enhanced. You might have stronger connection to smell or taste or even just emotional sensitivity. You might be feeling having a lower threshold for like loud noises or people in your space. Colors might be brighter. And we talked about quite a few clairs today, and I want you to know it's not a big deal to try and memorize them or know what they are. The major ones are just seeing, hearing, knowing, and feeling. And then keep practicing and have fun. You know, the more that you practice and you receive validation, the more that you're going to feel confident and know that what you're picking up is accurate. These games are kind of like a fun, low pressure way just to experiment, but definitely don't use them as the end all be all of whether or not you can connect. When I played games like this in a psychic development class, I couldn't figure out what was in the bag either. It's just a useful way to start learning how to pick up those impressions and what kind of questions to ask. So keep being playful and using your imagination. And if you've been doing this for like a month, you're practicing every day and you're not noticing anything different, tune in, ask your inner wisdom, maybe what's blocking you, or work with someone that, like a hypnotherapist or a psychic, that can help you figure out if there's any internal subconscious blocks. Because sometimes we have unconscious trauma, either from a past life or when we were younger, where it wasn't safe to access our intuition. So that might be something that's going on if it's not specific to your just believing in it or not.